Retail arbitrage at Walmart. That's what this video is going to be about. And if you come to this channel, you know, we do retail arbitrage videos from time to time. And usually it's at places like Ollie's, at Big Lots, grocery outlet, places like that. You know, we really don't do too many at Walmart, but I thought it was important because, of course, this channel focuses on the beginner. And guess what? Pretty much every beginner who's new to the arbitrage business model is going to have a Walmart within 10 miles. So for that reason, we decided to make Walmart the topic, and this is going to be beneficial to you if you are a beginner. But you know what? You might even get a nugget out of this if you're an intermediate, because we're going to be looking at some things that aren't so typical in terms of what you're actually looking for when you go into Walmart. So let's get into it. We're going to head on over to the mystery van and show you what we found. Then we're going to come on back to the shop and we're going to evaluate and see how we did. Let's get into it, guys. This is what to sell on Amazon. I'm Horace. Let's go. Oh, yeah. Okay, hustlers. So, as we can see here, I'm actually at Walmart. If you can see it there. And you know, I decided to source Walmart because you got to understand there's a Walmart within 10 miles of pretty much every American. So this is a place that you can source. But what you're gonna notice today, we're gonna be looking at things that aren't typical, because the idea is, yeah, there's a Walmart near you. What do you do when you're sourcing there? Particularly if you're a beginner, you don't know where to start. You got to start looking at some things that a lot of people don't look at. Now, for instance, we're looking at some Stay Free maxi pads. We're looking at some Kleenex. And we're looking at some Q-tips. And we're gonna look, if I don't break them, at some kites. We're getting into that season, kinda. Actually, usually in the fall, but tell you what, we're gonna get back to the shop. We're gonna unpack this stuff, and then we're gonna get into the numbers to see exactly how we did. Okay, hustlers. Thank you, working class hustlers of America and all over the globe. Thank you for taking a moment of your time to spend with me. My name is Horace, also known as La Machine, and this is what to sell on Amazon. Here we talk about all things arbitrage, that is selling on Amazon using the arbitrage business model. And on that note, if you're interested in learning, that's what we do here. So take a moment real quick to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the bell notification so that you can be notified. And we come out with videos every Friday. Also, make sure you take advantage of the arbitrage investment guide. Again, this channel is for beginners. And as a beginner, I know you're being bombarded with all sorts of offers, from courses to coaching to classes to mentorships, masterminds, all types of software, and you ain't even made a quarter. So before you go spending money, if you're a beginner, and I mean brand new, before you go spending money so that you get yourself $1,000 into debt before you even made a quarter, why don't you learn a little bit about what things are out there for you. But what you want to do, you want to know how to evaluate all of those offers and investments in terms of what the return is going to be, particularly where you are now. So, and another thing real quick before we get into it, if you would like to have someone like myself that you can just reach out to for those quick questions, it's not about having a full, one-on-one coaching call. Sometimes you just have quick questions. Listen, text the words working class hustler to the number on your screen. Only takes a second. I'll respond. I get you saved into my contact And what does that mean for you? From that point, right then and there, don't cost you nothing. You can ask those quick questions and I will help you as best I can. For those hustlers who have done it, please leave a comment and let the people out there know that it works. And I want to thank you guys before I forget. I really appreciate the comments. I really appreciate the support. This channel has been growing and it's all because of you, and it's becoming more and more a community, not just a place to consume information. So getting into it again, we're talking about retail arbitrage at Walmart. First things first, this past Saturday I went to Walmart and I sourced. So that is the receipt. I don't know how well you can see that, but Jim is gonna put that up there as we go through our evaluation process. Here's what I want to say right off the bat. I kind of touched on it in the beginning. I kind of touched on it in the parking lot at the mystery van. The bottom line is this. When you go into Walmart, it's great because it's right there. Number one, there's two things. We need to get this out of the way right now. When you go into the physical Walmart, you're sourcing at Walmart. If you go to walmart.com, probably 95% of the products being offered on Walmart's website are third-party sellers. So if you don't like sourcing from third-party sellers, you're not going to do too much online arbitrage at walmart.com. Excuse me if I threw Amazon in there somewhere, I might have. But we're talking about Walmart, the difference between walmart.com versus walking into Walmart for your retail arbitrage. I probably would recommend more retail arbitrage when it comes to Walmart, because you know what you're getting. Online, Walmart has gotten smart. They took Amazon's model and they said, guess what? Amazon's probably doing about 50% of their offerings being sold by third party. Walmart said, oh, we can do better than that. We can let third party take all that. So you just have that's just something that you might want to make a note of. Now, the thing of it is this. When you go into Walmart, and mind you, I don't do a lot of sourcing at Walmart. I did this for the purpose of you guys. Let me see what I can find for newbies, and let's see what I can do in there. And I'm going to tell you, it was a little frustrating at first because I'm walking around and guess what I was doing? I was going where everybody goes. Toys, you know, looking for clearance, of course, looking for deals. You know, it's not always going to be about toys. So it just depends. It's going to depend on the Walmart that you're at. It's going to depend on, you know, how they have the layout. Of course, you want to look for clearance items, but you may not find any. It just depends on when it is. You know what I mean? So at the mystery van, we talked about one thing that I got was Q-tips. So let's get into it, because here's the thing. These types of things, a lot of people aren't thinking about because they're not sexy. They're not exciting. They're not, you know, toys, video games, electronics, gaming systems, and all of this fancy stuff that you probably gated for anyway if you're a beginner. But people use things like this. Let me show you something else. Okay. We looked at this. Kleenex. And then, of course, we looked at these Stay Free maxi pads. Now, for my guys, get over it, okay? You trying to make money. Nobody's really watching you. And even if they are watching you, you know what? Because a lady was watching me, and I didn't even know it. I cleared the shelf of these, and as I'm grabbing all those maxi pads, all of a sudden I hear somebody say, "You're a nice guy." And I went, and she sort of looked at me and she goes, it's so nice that you would buy those for her. And I was like, right, okay. So I just kind of went along with it and went on about my business. But the point is this. we're talking about paper products. I want you to think about something because you're probably looking for replenishables. Do people use paper products? Paper plates, napkins, tissue, pads, things like that. Those are replenishables. Now you're going to see these are not sexy products. These products don't have the biggest return on investment either. But if they're consistent, a lot of times you hear me talking about building my foundation on replenishables. I built mine on snack foods, but guess what? I think I'm going to start shoring it up with even more staple products that people buy. Do you think somebody buys a box of Q-tips and then has buyer's remorse and they go, oh, I shouldn't have bought these. I'm going to send these back. That doesn't happen. But when you sell a video game, well, some kid might break it open, play it all weekend, and then decide, well, Amazon has a pretty good return policy that favors me. I've played the game. I finished it. I'm giving it back. That could happen. Oh, I bought these headphones. I don't like the way they sound. Or, someone else that lives in that house says, you paid what for some headphones? You better send them things back. All types of things can happen with the more expensive, sexy products. I'm not saying that it always happens. I sell those types of products too. And I sell clothing, which you can get returns on. But I'm just saying, for beginners, a lot of times you're looking for replenishables. Because you can wash, rinse, and repeat, right? And you can build up your business. And as you get, you start out with one becomes five becomes 15. And you really can build a business. But you got to be thinking about things that a lot of people aren't thinking about. People that go into Walmart sourcing, most of the time, they're looking at toys. They're looking at electronics. They're looking at some clothing, depending. They're definitely looking at grocery. You got to start looking at some products like this. Let's get into it, okay? So we're going to take a minute and we're going to look at these Q-tips. We're going to evaluate how we did on that. Okay, hustlers. So what are we looking at? We're looking at those Q-tips, right, that I showed you. They're the 750 count, but you'll notice, what do you notice? Let me highlight my cursor so we can follow along here. What you'll notice is it is a 2-pack, okay? Now, let me tell you, when I was at the store, how was I sourcing these products? I was using my cell phone. I was using the Amazon seller app right on my cell phone. And when I scanned the barcode, the 2-pack did not come up. When you're using the app, make sure sometimes you have to just type in the title. Scanning is not always going to get you what you're looking for. Sometimes you're going to have to take a minute and type in, because your multi-packs a lot of times is going to be where it's at. Not all the time, but a lot of times people aren't trying to buy one box of Q-tips when they shop at Amazon. They're putting together an entire shipment. They're trying to make free shipping. You don't know what they're doing, but typically they want bundles or multi-packs is what it would be in this case. Okay. So what are we looking at? We got a 2-pack. I'm looking at the keeper chart. Look at that green line. You see that? That's velocity. You see the stacking, those triangles on top of each other, those squares on top of each other. There's a lot of action going. People buy Q-tips. Now, what I'm doing right now, I'm coming down into the product details, and I'm looking at the seller rank, and you'll get better and better at that. I use tactical arbitrage. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I'm using a feature to where I can see the estimated monthly sales. Excuse me. So if you got estimated, and again, that's just an estimate, and I think it's wrong. I think they probably sell more than that. But if we were going to use that 37 and you could kind of see how many people are selling. 15 people are selling. Of the 15, who are you competing with? I'm going to say we're going to look at going FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, meaning we're going to ship the product into the warehouse. And so these are the people that we're competing with. And look at how many they got. This guy has one. This guy has one, two. Okay. They don't have a lot of stock. Now, in the buy box, this guy shows 28. But you shouldn't have a problem jumping right in. Let's say you were going to jump in for $22.50. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come over to a software that I like to use called Inventory Lab, and we're going to evaluate how much money we could potentially make with this product. So here we are inside of Inventory Lab, and you can see I'm sending in 3 bundles. And if you look at my receipt, you can see, and I'm calling it a bundle, but it's really a multi-pack. I use that term interchangeably, so just so you know, it's technically a multi-pack if it's all multiples of the same product. So a multi-pack of 2 is going to cost me $9.28. Actually, if you notice on the receipt, this is not a taxable product in the state of Pennsylvania. It may be where you are, but if we jumped in at $22.50, you're looking at getting that $9.28 back plus $4.42 profit. Now, this did not take out the cost of me getting it into the warehouse. Typically, it costs me about 50 cents, a lot of times less. The more you send in, the less it's going to cost you per piece or per multi-pack to get it into the warehouse. Sometimes it only costs me 30 cents. It just depends. So, but either way, just looking at the raw numbers, you're close to 50%. You can round up to 48% return on investment. That's important, guys. That you're not getting a big dollar amount, but as you grow the business, and we'll look at that a little bit later, we'll figure out how this really works. Okay, because we get caught up in particular products. What you really need to be focusing on is how much money do you have that you can invest into the business, and if you get that money back plus a certain return on investment, the money doesn't care how you divided it up. The money didn't care if it was in Q-tips and pads. All it says is, hey, I put $1,000 out there. I'm getting on average a 30% return on investment. I got that 1,000 back plus 300. And then you just scale from there. You see what I'm saying? The stuff really ain't that hard, but this gives you an example. And this is showing it at $22.50. Is that where we at? Yes, that's where we are. So that's a product, guys, that you might not walk into Walmart thinking about buying. Okay. And if you're a beginner, this is important because you have to understand, you worried about getting ungated. You worried about all this other stuff. What you really want to be worried about is just getting some sales. There's reasons for that. Number one, you need to prove to yourself that it works. You need to prove to yourself that you're going to do the work. Because remember, I'm saying it works, and you better be looking in the mirror when you say it works because you're it. Then we gotta make sure that you're going to be consistent. So you're proving to yourself that this stuff works. And you're proving that you're going to stay in it long enough to build some momentum, because you got to get some momentum going. What better way to get momentum going than with some of the regular staple products that people buy all the time without even thinking about? Okay. A lot of these great deals you're going to find, they're not there all the time. This is something that's going to be there consistently. You see? Let's look at the next product. Okay. So here's the Kleenex at Walmart. And if we look at the receipt, I paid $4.48. There was no tax for me. Oh, wait, nope, that's not true. It is tax for me. So again, what are we looking at? Number one, we're looking at the title, because you see this 3-pack, that could be confusing. You might think that there's 3 of these, and that's not what they're saying. So you got to read 3 flat boxes, 110 tissues per box, 330 total tissues. So here you want to read as well. Contains 3 flat tissue boxes, okay, 110 ultra soft tissues per box. Now, this is exactly what we're talking about, guys. Okay, it's 3 boxes, and if you can see, it's a little hard to see, but down there it's telling you what you're getting. So that matches. They're telling you that there's 3 boxes. So 1, 2, and 3. There you have it. It's already a multi-pack. Okay. And it's okay if the picture varies a little bit. That's gonna happen from time to time. They don't always keep the exact, But when we come back, what are we looking at? We're looking at that keeper chart. Plenty of action. We're going to come down to the sales rank. Sales rank is good. You can also get that if you like to use keeper for that. That all you have to do is hover over where it says statistic. Let that pop up. You're looking in the middle column that says new, and that just gives you some numbers that you can look at. And yeah, I'm just sort of following that along. Let's look at our buying options. And again, we're going to look at prime. We're going to look at new. And there you have that. Now, this guy says he's got 158. I might question that. I might not, but he's got a lot of ratings. So he's been doing this for a while. Let's hop over to my inventory lab, and let's take a look at the numbers here. So again, it cost me $475, and that's because of the tax. It was $448, but then I have to pay 6%. I bought it yesterday, actually day before yesterday, but because it's technically now Sunday, Monday. But yeah, at that price, and if I sold it for $17.99, is that what that's what he's got. I would get that $475 back plus $398. What is that? 80, pretty much you could round up 84% return on investment. Guys, you're not getting big money in terms of the net profit per unit, but that return on investment, if you're getting that type of return on investment with your money, look around, guys. Look around and start thinking. Because when you hear these people talking about investing in the stock market, are they getting these types of returns? No, they're not. So put it into perspective. Quit looking for ways to discredit it. What we're doing, this thing called arbitrage. Figure out a way to empower. You're doing better than the stock market. So that's all there is to it. Let's look at the maxi pads. We'll do it like this. We'll go cancel. We'll open that up. Now you're looking at a 44 count. That's all it is. And there it is, the 44 count. So again, you don't see a whole lot of velocity on this, but I've sold these pads before. They will move. Okay, people use them. Paper products, they have to have them. So don't let the keeper charts and the estimators and the rank, don't let that fool you. Actually, if we come down to the rank, it's pretty high, but I will go that high in sales rank, especially on a product like this. It's up to you if you wouldn't do it, but as you can see, I bought them, so we can come back to it and see how we do on that. But yeah, let's look at the competition on it. You only got 3 people selling it, and nobody's FBA, so you're probably going to kill it. And see, that's another thing you got to think about. Let's look at this keeper chart. There are no triangles. Triangles would be FBA. So this makes a difference. If you come out here FBA, that makes a difference. Let's look at the numbers. Okay, so here we go. I paid, we look at the receipt. I paid $4.97. There's no tax on this product. And if we were out there, this price has been changing on us. But I'm not going to go in with him because I'm FBA. I could easily get this price. But I'm not even going for that. I went $14.89. So that means I'd get my $4.97 back plus $4.21. That's 85, if you round up, 85% return on investment, guys. You're not going to beat that. Okay? And let me show you something. If you're not sure, when you get ready to send your product in to Amazon, all you need to do is cover the existing barcode with your own, and you're ready to go. Okay? Same thing with this Kleenex. Let's see if I have. Yeah. Okay. So with the Kleenex, there's actually a little barcode here, and there's one back here. This is what I'll do. I printed out my labels. I'll take one. I'll cover that. I'll take the other one. Remember that barcode on the front. I'll cover that. And I'm gone. Now, it depends on how I feel. If there's more than one barcode on a particular box of a product or whatever, sometimes I'll cover them both. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll just put one. Amazon workers are really not that dumb. They kind of know what they're looking for. They know better than to scan the existing, barcode unless your product went to the commingled department, because if you opted to go with the existing barcode, which I don't recommend, some products they will allow you to do that, but that goes to a whole nother department. Okay. Let me show you on the Q-tip deal. Now these are multi-packs of 2. It's not that serious, guys. Take both, throw them in a Ziploc bag, put the label on, and you're out the door. Let me see if I can show it to you. I might have one. I might not. I might have had one and I lost it, but it doesn't matter. All you do, take you a Ziploc bag, drop one in there, drop 2 in there, close it up, stick the label right on there. I had a label. Oh yeah, here it is. Look it. Take that label, stick it on there, and I'm gone. All right. got one more thing that I saw while I was there. It's a kite. Kylo Ren, Star Wars. You should be able to sell this. It doesn't matter though. The purpose of this video is not to source for you, just to give you ideas on what you could be doing. So let's take a look at this kite. You know, just to show you what I would be considering and why I picked that product. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to find that kite. Going to look at it on Amazon. And the first thing you're going to notice is it is unavailable. That means I'm going to be the only one that has it. The rank is high, but the rank is going to continue to climb when there's no activity. There's no activity because no one else has it. That doesn't mean that it's going to sell. But if you look at the receipt, what did I pay? I paid, let's see here. I paid $397 plus tax. They've only had this for 39 days. Okay, total of all time. Okay, so you know, what could that mean? That means they really haven't had it that long, so it's kind of hard to have a really good rank established when no one's really had it. So think about that as we evaluate the product. So with tax, I paid $409. I bought 3 of them. That's all they had. That's another thing. I decided to go $19.99. Now, if you look, actually, but it was going as high as $15.95 the last time somebody had it, which was this month. It looks like on the 9th, so it hasn't been that long. So I think I could do better than that, especially being the only one and being FBA. So that's why I chose $19.99. If that works, I'll get that $409 back plus $3.50. That's rounded up to 86% return on investment. That's it, guys. The only thing that I will do is watch this. You see the barcode right there? I'll take my label. Turn this thing over. Cover up the existing barcode. And I'm out the door, guys. This Amazon thing really ain't that hard. You got to put the work in. That's all there is to it. So, now, as you may know, on this channel, all roads lead to the software tactical arbitrage. That's important. You know, powerful and robust software gives you an endless number of leads that you can find for both retail arbitrage and online arbitrage. Okay, but I don't recommend that you buy that if you're brand new. You're going to spend upwards $100 a month. I mean, you really don't need that right away. I don't go back and look at some of my other videos. I didn't always use that. I had to do it by hand until I was ready. Okay, but here's the thing: if you want to try the software, you don't have to pay for it. Okay, and before you even try the software, right on this channel, there are 2 videos that show you real quick the Lightning course parts 1, the Lightning course parts 2. Between those 2 courses, and they're about 10 minutes each, you will know how to set up a search. The biggest challenge that newbies have with the software, because it's not very user-friendly, the biggest issue is, how do I set up a search and get this thing running? Now, if you got a free trial, the days are just ticking. They ain't waiting on you. What you could be doing if you already know how to use the software, and some hustlers have even replied in the comments and let you guys know, you can have the software pay for itself. By the time your free 10-day trial is up, you will have enough leads and enough money that you've made to pay for a month or more, depending on, how much of a go-getter you are. The software is already paid for. Okay. But you got to know what you're doing. So take the Lightning Course Parts 1, take the Lightning Course Part 2. You got to understand, you got like 1,000 websites that you could choose from. That's great. Until you get into the software, and now you're like, okay, where do I start? We already have that set up for you. When you take the Lightning Course Part 2, you don't even have to figure out what sites should I be sourcing, what categories. We got that all set up. So all you do is click a couple of buttons and it's searching the right websites, the right categories, all that for a newbie, particularly for a newbie that is gated. A newbie is gated in a lot of categories, gated in a lot of brands. Look, you need to know where to go so you can get moving. Okay. So take the Lightning Course, take the Lightning Course Part 2, then go down in the description and click the affiliate link for the 10-day free trial. Okay. When you're ready, you know what I'm saying? So also, I always talk about your skills. You need to develop the skills of being able to evaluate. Okay. This is not about getting rich, guys. I'm not a rich guy. I'm not a guru. I'm just a guy, a working class hustler. I work a regular job like you. And then I do this. Let me show you my numbers so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so now we're back in Inventory Lab where you can see for the month of April so far, I've only done $3,572.96. Now, what I was showing you before was the running 30-day total. But for the month, and we're approaching the halfway point of the month, I've only done $3,572.96. Now the profit, see, because you can see the expenses, transaction fees, selling fees, cost of goods, all of that stuff. That takes my profit down to what? $1,147.33. Now, if we stay on that pace, then we'll probably double this. I may make in profit $2,500. That makes a difference in my life. But then again, you got to remember, I get that profit and then the government says, oh, you got a profit. Let's hit you with 30%. So you see what I'm saying? So this is what it's all about, guys. This is not about me being a guru telling you that you're going to have a Ferrari and a mansion, but you can make some extra income. Would an extra, $1,100, an extra $2,000, would that make a difference in your life? Especially when it's you controlling it. Could you scale it up? If that's not enough, could you scale it up? Yes, you can. So these are things to consider, but you got to crawl before you walk. You got to walk before you run. You see what I'm saying? So put it all in perspective and make sure when you think about learning how to evaluate, well, we've got videos that will teach you the 7 steps to evaluating a product. Looking at a product, okay? You walked into Walmart, you see this product, now what? How do you know? What are the factors that you're going to consider? Watch that video, okay? And again, I'm going to say it again, guys. If you want someone, a real person that you can just reach out to, I do it each and every day. Not a day goes by that I don't respond. I was on vacation and I still respond. That's just what I do. It's my calling and I love it. Text the words working class hustler to the number on your screen. Don't be bashful. Don't be bashful. Maybe 1% of the people that have that opportunity actually reach out. Okay. Actually reach out and talk to a real person. Now, I want you to think about something. I want you to think about something for a second, because some of you have paid $1,000 for a course, $500 for a course, $700 for a course. Did you get the cell phone the actual cell phone of the person that sold you that $1,000 course. That way, when you have your quick little questions, you could call them up. You could text them. And you could say, hey, since I paid you this $700, maybe you could take a minute of your time to answer a question. I'm being told that most people don't get that. Here you have, and I'm not asking for anything. I'm saying, hey, if you want some help, because you know what? It helps me. The more people I get a chance to help, the better I get, because I can't answer all your questions. I have to go research. I have to present it to a panel of like minds, people that know more than me a lot of times, and we figure out ways to help you with your problems. So that is why it's a win-win. So keep that in mind, guys. I've had people talk about software. I've had people asking me about tactical arbitrage. Why? Because you can submit a ticket if you got a question, and you can wait 24 hours. Maybe you want someone that you could actually text. Hey, TA ain't working right. What can I do? Hey, I got a question about this. What can I do? And I just text you right back. Okay? What do I do? What do I get out of that? Well, I get to bother you and say, hey, I made another video. I took some more of my time to try and help you out. Maybe you want to watch it. You know what I mean? So it's a win-win as far as I'm concerned, but that's something to think about. Who else is giving you the option to text them on their phone that will hop on a call with you? Think about that, because I'm telling you, if you're thinking about doing it, remember, you're only part of maybe 1% that will actually take advantage of that. So I'll see you guys in the next video, and thank you so much for watching.